Not long after the girl left home, her father her left, but he was so caught up in his own grief that he let her go and didn't look for her. The old man of Coniston looks out across the lake with blind eyes. His mind wanders with the current flowing gently southward to the fork. Interesting. Well, I got another place to explore. The weather is once again terrible. And I've got another customer. Eleanor Brammer. The insects make the salt marshes uninhabitable. People stay away and not much grows there, but I know where to find an unusual plant. It is nasty out. I have drawn you a map in case you decide it's worth your time. Well, they all are. Hello? Okay, let me see if I can find this one first. The old man of Coniston. Coniston. Looks out across the lake. Wait a minute. The old man, that's a mountain. Looks out across the lake. That would be Coniston water here. Blind eyes. His mind wanders with the current flowing gently southwards to the fork. Well, this is a fork, and it is southward to herds of the Coniston Lake. So what's here? The heavens open up as I reach the fork. I take a moment to pause and listen to the sound of the water on water. I'm soaked through, but my spirits are high as I return home. I'm not empty-handed. 2 new plants today. Cool. Okay, let me just rearrange these so I can see them. Next customer. Bethany Coleman again. Hello. Thank you for your help and discretion earlier. The Sisterhood is grateful, but the news that Arda was poisoned with gilded dendra has everyone worried. The temporary acting Arda is panicking. I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but one of the sisters has gone missing. A runaway called Thea we took in a few years ago. Did she come by here in a mask? A green mask? Wait a second, that sounds familiar. We're trying to find her and Sister Charlotte remembered that the Jacobsworth plant is said to help locate people. Well, I think this is it. I identified it earlier, provisionally speaking, because of how the leaves moved around. Confirmed, that is Jacob's Worth. And I get an entry on Solomon's Scepter, also known alarmingly as Hell's Gate and sometimes Solomon's Scorn. The flowers of the plant are commonly used in witchcraft and other satanic practices. Many sweet-smelling small flowers grow along the stem. Well, I'll have to take the question mark off of the label here. I'm going to go exploring again. Oh, wait. Hasn't been enough time. I'll serve another customer. Peggy Morris. Haven't seen you before. I read about a wonderful sounding ornamental plant, but the book didn't say what it was called or where to find it. And wonderful sounding in art is a matter of opinion. It has curled leaves and a dark blue flower. Well, let me see. I may have identified it. I have Lady of Summer. Curled leaves, check. Ornamental plants, check. Age with memory. Maybe it's this one. Because they're... The other one that looks kind of sort of like it's... I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. That was touch and go, but... I already identified the Lady of Summer. Okay, now that I've got enough fuel to explore, go and see where that, where this thing is. Maybe I can superimpose, well, let me see, this does, there's an area that kind of looks like this, but not completely. I mean, it's by the seaside here, but then let me see. I'm guessing this is F2. I don't know, it's either F2 or E2. Yeah, it looks like it's either F2, E2, or possibly F1 or E1. I'm going to start with F2 here. The air is thick with flying, biting insects, an unbearable plague. I fight against it for mere moments before I'm overwhelmed. If only I had some blue winter to keep them at bay, otherwise known as winter boar. Well, there's an entry for it. Blue-gray flowers. Okay, also known as blue owl or blue winter, after its cool blue-gray flowers. Winter boar is a hardy plant, often found growing in extreme cold environments. The rubbery leaves make an effective insect repellent when applied to the skin. This does look like it. Are there any other flowers that are the same color? Well, this one's just pale blue. It's not blue-gray. That must be nuts to go wandering around in all this. What's this doing over here? But this does look like the drawing, so yeah, here we go. The blue winter saves my skin, but the swirly mass of insects is so thick in places that it's hard to see. At length I come across what I came for and hurry away. And I've got an entry for a Dranthium. We were talking about this earlier. A plant with powerful mind-altering abilities. Those who inhale smoke from burning its long, sharp leaves elevate the awareness to levels otherwise unachievable. Some know Dranthium as Green Eye, a name derived from the telltale signs of overdose, where even the whites of the eyes take on a green tint. Okay, let me just label the winter boar here. Check. And collect this plant. Which, once again, I have no idea what it is. Only that it's thorny. I'll file this off somewhere. And serve the next customer. Ennis Aleford. I'm guessing the D fell off his name. We've had our eye on you for some time now. Join us. Praise the Dendru. That was weird. What's this here? I represent a group called the Seeds of Redemption. Your expertise would be very useful to us, and we have much to offer in return. Let us know we can count on you by leaving a single St. John's poppy flower outside the Sad Guild Church before Friday. Do not make the mistake of ignoring us, praise the Dendru. I don't know, that sounds a bit like a threat. It also sounds like I'm taking a side here. I don't want to commit to anything, but I get the impression that that there will be consequences if I don't join these people. Maybe they have something for me in return. Okay, so Sadgill Church. Sadgill Church. Where is Sadgill Church? I see Sadgill. Maybe that counts? The church isn't hard to find in the small hamlet of Sadgill. This must be the place. Here, have a St. John's pot. Which was like the first plant I identified. Okay, file this off. Dendron. Is that a plant? No. Never mind. Okay, next customer. Bing. I have returned from Swinside. I must admit I was hoping for more to go on, but there were certainly signs of ritual having been performed at the stone circle, and the poor victim, well, the less said about him, the better. The Ruin had it right, though. Grisly. I have the beginnings of a theory, but I'd like to run some tests on a sample of the gilded dendron. I have an entry for it. Yeah, I think I mentioned this plant as a source of Dendrus miasma. There's a description of what the leaves look like. I don't know. Maybe I should be... Do I have like a set of work gloves? Safety gloves? Hold on a minute. Hint. My fingers ache from handling this plant. Are there any other plants that don't have thorns but hurt my fingers anyway? This just talks about the flowers. This just talks about the flowers and the smell. This just talks about the flowers and the smell again. But that one plant, I handled it, my fingers hurt. So I think, wait a minute, let me see, what about this one? Alright, fine, and that's just the smell. That's just the color of the flowers. This one, I'm guessing that's probably the gilded dendron because of how badly my hands hurt after messing with it. Oh yeah, there we go. Maiden sore. Rubbing the soft leaves of this plant between one's finger and thumb is said to help prevent the mind from wandering, providing a focusing effect. The flowers of this plant droop mournfully, but it is the thorns along its stem that are thought to lend it its name. I'm guessing this is it. Oh, you can just hit enter. And this one is definitely the gilded dendron. Oh, and once again I'm all dressed up and nowhere to go. What about that happening? I don't even have an entry for it, do I? No, nothing. Anne Wood. My aunt died 2 weeks ago and I inherited her house. I've been sifting through her possessions and last night I found something unusual. In a forgotten corner of the attic I found a coffin. Anybody in it? More unusual still, it was bound by strong vines, so strong that I can't cut through them. I immediately thought of your shop. You know about plants, right? I need a Royal Gentia, right? Well, hold on a second. Yes, that releases the bind of Swift Snare, and I kinda sorta identified it. I mean, it's the only plant that looks remotely like its description. None of the other flowers I have here are pink and shaped like kidneys. So yeah, this has got to be it. Okay, the Elderfinium. The petals of this flower can be brewed to create an antidote to Dendrus miasma, a deadly poison that causes the blood to turn black, eventually resulting in death. It is an intoxicating scent similar to that of Solomon's scepter. And I don't think I have it. Let me just take the question mark off this now that I've identified it, confirmed its identity. And since there's nowhere else to go once again, I'll end the day.